Understanding and coping with anxiety. This film is designed to help you understand anxiety and find helpful ways of dealing with the difficult thoughts and feelings you may be experiencing. It covers what anxiety is and how you can recognize it, what you can do to help yourself, how other people can help you. This film has 3 parts. We recommend you watch all parts of the film before you try any of the techniques suggested. This is because the techniques will be more effective if you fully understand the rationale behind them. There are also a series of worksheets and resources to accompany the film. Please do use them to help. It may be you prefer to copy the content onto your phone or find another way of recording the same information. Every time a worksheet is mentioned, there will be a light bulb icon to remind you that there's a worksheet for this section. Understanding anxiety. Anxiety is a normal reaction. Everyone feels anxious at some point. Anxiety is designed to keep us safe by preparing us to deal with challenges or situations that are dangerous or threatening. It does this by keeping us alert so we can spot danger and avoid it, preparing our bodies so that we can take action quickly to stay safe, and helping us learn how we can avoid future danger and stay safe. When we recognize a threat, our body automatically prepares to deal with it. This is often called the fight or flight response, and it prepares our bodies to avoid or run away or to confront and face the threat. For example, you might have to jump out the way of a car to avoid being hit, or you might need to quickly leave the building when the fire alarm sounds, or you may need to fight off an attacker. Fortunately for most of us, real threats to our physical safety are rare. We don't have to avoid runaway cars or fight off an attacker every day. However, many of us feel anxious because we imagine threat. We worry about what might happen and imagine that things will go wrong. For example, we'll get lost if we go somewhere new or try to make new friends. Or that we will be unable to cope. For example, we won't know what to say to someone or they'll laugh at us. Or that we will be unsuccessful. For example, we'll get our work wrong or fail our exams. Because we are always imagining threat, we may live in a constant state of anxiety. The core 3 parts of the fight or flight anxiety response are 1. How we think. This helps us to identify situations or events where there might be possible threat or danger. We can become preoccupied with thoughts about what might go wrong. 2. How we feel. This is a response that prepares our bodies to take some action to deal with the threat. We may notice our heart racing, that we feel hot, short of breath, or go red. We might feel very tense or on edge. 3. What we do. We focus on keeping ourselves safe and out of future danger. Often this involves avoiding the situations or things that we worry about and which make us anxious. When we feel anxious, we are more likely to expect the worst. We are more likely to think that we will be unable to cope, we'll get things wrong, that bad things will happen, that we will be laughed at or others will be unkind, and we are more likely to be looking out for signs of danger. These ways of thinking can make us believe that the world is a dangerous place and a world in which we are unable to cope. Anxiety symptoms include headaches, fast breathing, a racing heart, butterflies, feeling tense and alert, a dry mouth, going red, feeling dizzy, getting hot, needing to go to the toilet, and shaking or trembling. Other possible signs of anxiety include difficulty concentrating, not wanting to go out, problems sleeping, not eating, feeling unwell and sick, being irritable, temper outbursts, and thinking about your fears all the time. We learn from what has happened and use this information to deal with future or similar events. For example, if you were laughed at in class for wrongly answering a question, you might not answer future questions. You may think you'll get it wrong and get laughed at again. Or if you had a panic attack when you were shopping, you might stop going to the shops. You may think that you won't be able to cope, and so stay at home. Or if you were meeting someone you care about and they were very late, you might think that they have had an accident. You may want to be constantly in touch with them and never leave them so that you make sure they are okay. We learn to avoid or stop doing the things that make us anxious. The anxiety trap diagram you can see now shows how anxious feelings, worrying thoughts, and avoidance behaviors can all interact and tie together. Anxiety not only feels uncomfortable, but it can have a significant effect on your everyday life. It can limit what you do and where you go. You may not want to leave the house or meet up with friends, or you may not want to go to school, and this will have an impact on your academic performance. It may put a strain on your relationships. You may find you argue more with friends and family, and they may try and make you do things you don't want to do and get cross with you if you don't. Friends may stop asking you to join them. It may limit your social and relaxation time. You might not feel able to go to the cinema, out for a meal, or on holiday, or you may not be able to take part in clubs that you used to enjoy. There are several different types of anxiety, but all are likely to make you think there will be a bad outcome. You may worry about anything and everything and expect everything to go wrong. You may worry all the time. This is called generalized anxiety. Or you may worry about what other people think of you, and you may think they will find you boring or that you'll have nothing to say. This is called social anxiety. Or you may experience intense episodes of fear that seem to come out of the blue and make you feel out of control. You may worry you're having a heart attack or even dying. These are called panic attacks. You may have specific fears of things like animals, for example dogs or spiders. These are called phobias. There's no single reason why people become anxious. Often it's a combination of factors, including genetics. Research has shown that we may inherit a predisposition or tendency to be anxious. Life events. Anxiety can be triggered by stressful events. These could be anything such as friendship and bullying issues, physical injury or illness, bereavement, moving house or school, or family problems. Global issues such as climate change are also a source of anxiety for many. Family factors. Anxious children and young people are more likely to have anxious parents or carers, and therefore they may learn unhelpful ways of coping with stress or anxiety from their parents or carers. Character. You may just be the kind of person who struggles more with shyness and worries about new and unfamiliar situations.